It's New Year's Day and I didn't include this knit tarot oracle in the episode 25 as promised because I wanted to edit that and recording would have held me back. So I am actually uploading it as a separate yarnchix knit oracle, and I thought, well, why not try that, because I like my tarot card readings and I've always opened up the comments to people asking their questions. If they have knit related oracle questions, then my tarot cards are here for you. They're open for picking my mind or I'm open to your questions, and my cards I would try and answer them with the help of my cards. I'm using the Mother Peace cards to draw cards as a little tarot knit oracle, and I've decided to make the outlook for 2019 a bit about my relationship, so me and yarnchix and my relationship. So I've chosen to lay a certain set where I'm gonna ask and hopefully receive some answers about my personal making and my podcast making. So I'm very intrigued that you've made it here to the separate clip. I don't know if you're gonna enjoy it, if it's your kind of thing, so let's see. I'm gonna take you through the cards with text and writing. So I've chosen the way of reading the cards as the relationship cards, and I've picked 7 cards. So now I will put them in the designated position. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now I'm going to do the podcast side. my side. Oh, so that was really interesting. So you'd have the center one, which in this card was, in this case was one card, and I think the only one, yes, the only card from the big arcana, Strength. So that is the significant card, sort of telling about what the relationship is and what it actually is I'm asking about. And the first column I shared, that is the partnering side. So in this case I would say it's my podcast side, and the other side is my personal side, and I will take you through my reading for both sides and try and make a connection with the cards. Probably is a bit dark again. Oh god, winter is a funny time for recording. So I've just sort of read my book about the cards, because that's basically what I still have to do, even though I have instinctive reactions and I went wow when I read or see certain cards because of my memory of them. I'm still very much of a book consoling reader. The significant card in my reading is the connection of instinctive and also intellectual strength of doing this podcast, and I really see that it's a fun thing, it's a lovely project that I really unfold quite a lot of my making through, and that it holds me accountable, so I progress quite a lot, and the podcast is actually a strong thing in my life. So for this reading, which is a bit awkward because it's actually a partnership reading, it's quite interesting because it says it combines both my intellect and my creative side, or my instinctive flow, so that makes utter sense to me. And then we have the side of what is on the outside at the bottom, the two cards. Then in the middle of the two cards is the emotional reality, and I might have to go back to the book for that, so excuse me if I have to flip through the book. And then the other thing is like the what we think it is. And actually on the podcast side, this is all very great. So this is like being pregnant with an idea, or the sort of on the outside is always kind of rich and growing and sort of prosper energy, which I guess it's true. People see the podcast and it's gently growing. Again, on the emotional side, the 6 discs. So on the outside it's seven discs, and then it's 6 discs. Very interesting, because 6 discs is generosity, and sort of on the emotional side, the podcast grows and lives from things like the little community that has emerged from a small podcast in a small corner of YouTube, and how we help each other and approach each other with a lot of understanding, and yeah, the richness of the podcast is actually that emotional side, the connections with the people, and that we support each other and support each other's growth, and that is a present. So the podcast itself, that's its intention, and so the community growing is sort of giving her, the podcast is a her, a lot of energy back. And then on the outside is the Ace of Wands, which I love. It's a really strong card. Again, I want to read this. It's a chance of unfolding yourself and showing the sort of liveliness and conviction. And I'm sure that on the intention was always this sort of staying in a sort of joyful, excited, and unfolding a lot of my own potential side. So that is sort of connected. The podcast is that also for me, which is interesting, because on my side, on the what I think about the podcast, it's also an ace, and it's the Ace of Cups. Again, a very and that is connected to finding happiness, and it's sort of the idea that I think in my mind I always thought I will be happy making the podcast and with my creativity. And so this card is that sort of positive thing of being happy and on the level of intellect, I guess, having this great love for a podcast and knowing that it helps me process a lot of my making. And emotionally it's very interesting on my side, because it's true that's where I have a lot of learning to do. So there's 9 swords and it's a bit dark. I'm gonna try and maybe this is better. Yeah, it's slightly lighter. So the 9 swords is that I am actually a warrior. So I worry a lot if people actually watch my podcast. I you know, make all this effort and then I go into this sort of fearful thing of, you know, what is it I'm putting out there and how is it received? And there's always some people who will go around and click thumbs down and stuff like that, and it's fair enough, but you sort of start having these moments of going ping, ping. I'd prefer people to not troll and be positive, but if they don't like something, they're allowed to go thumbs down. You're too chatty. You're too hippie. But yeah, I am a warrior, so this is about my fears and maybe the crisis that I've had just in the sort of run up to Christmas and doing Vlogmas and spending a lot of time on it. And I'm sorry, ridden by numbers or controlled by numbers, going, only 100 people watch that and I spent 10 hours on it. You know, that sort of fearful side inside of me. And then on the outside, the 10 wands, and that's interesting. I never really thought I appear like that, but maybe I just appeared like that right now because I've shared the inside. All my cards have shared my inside with it. That now you think that I'm a bit of a tough cookie, that I should be more willing to change and adopt and learn and progress, and that I might just see attack where there's no attack. And that's what they're saying, that I'm a bit of a trotziger, what do you call it, like a terrible two, like toddler. It's quite an interesting card, because it means that I'm standing in my own way. So people might think that I block myself. Let's reconsider the book for this. So 4 and 5. So the front, oh, maybe that's how I behave towards my podcast. Hello podcast, I'm making new, but I have a tantrum on my podcast. Hey, all the work you mean to me. And the podcast back is doing, I'm patient with you. You will slowly but surely grow. Stop having a tantrum. The podcast is slow and steady, and people will find you and you will like it. But if nobody cares, what's happening then? Lots of nice people already care. Don't worry. Slow and steady. Be patient. Grumpy cow Mimi. Happy 20s.